With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Good morning, Leigh.
Good morning. How are we?
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Truly, yeah. I mean, you'd never know that I went chasing a pickpocket around London last night.
Yeah, Leigh's just been updating me on an absolute saga that she's been part of. And honestly, like, I'm ready to fight crime.
I know. I was having a gorgeous espresso martini at the National Theatre, and the next thing I knew, my friend's bag was gone. Horrendous.
Absolutely horrific energy for a Friday night. And it's like the worst feeling. Feeling when something of yours gets stolen.
Also, like, when your passport gets stolen 2 weeks before Christmas, before you're supposed to go home to Ireland, it's just like so bleak.
Yeah. So our thoughts, prayers, vibes and love are with our good friend on her journey.
On her journey to do all of the admin that she's now going to have to do in order to
Before
replace everything that's in this bag. It's so dark. Also, just thoughts with anyone who's just had stuff taken. It just feels so violating. And, you know, you feel a bit like you're in like a bit of a buddy comedy, being like, well, my AirPod has showed up in this location, so let's get an Uber across London. And then you're like, we might die.
Yeah, this is crazy. What are we doing? Leigh's just all hopped up on espresso martini, being like, we gotta go there.
Oh my God. I'm so excited to talk about this episode.
I have a lot of feelings about this episode. I had a whale of a time. And quite honestly, I've got a lot to say.
Dare I say one of my best of the season?
I keep saying this when I'm like watching an episode. I'm like, well, that's top 5. That's top 5. And it just keeps getting surpassed. And the thing is, Leigh Douglas, Aaron is stepping into new territory.
He is, in a really fun way.
Feels very exciting. And this is kind of what I want to talk about with this episode. So I would love to just jump straight into the recap, if I may.
Yes, this is Queer Gals Watch the West Wing. Today we are watching season 3, episode 19. We're like almost at the end of this season.
So close.
The Black Vera Wang.
The Black Vera Wang. And I must start once again with sending a lot of love to the Queer Nuts, because you guys must have known that we were coming up to this episode. And that Leigh and I would probably be beside ourselves by the title alone.
By the title alone. And I do feel the need to just get out of the way very quickly up top, early doors, that I have a very special relationship with Vera Wang. Not only because of her presence throughout the rom-coms of the 2000s. The woman was never against a cameo. Do you know what I mean? She was always there for a cameo.
Oh my God, yeah. Popping up all over the place.
But also because when I was going to homecoming my junior year, I needed a dress and I went to Value Village, which is like a secondhand thrift store. And they had $1 red tag Mondays. It happened to be I found a Vera Wang dress that had a red tag, and I got a $1 Vera Wang dress for homecoming.
Incredible.
It was one of my finest shopping moments.
Like, I don't know how you move forward from that personally in terms of like the greatest discount you'll ever experience. And Leigh and I are discount queens. Like I'd say that both of us feel, I don't know, hard pushed to spend like full price on anything.
No, I mean, the thing is, do I have an online shopping problem?
We don't believe in it emotionally.
Do I have an online shopping addiction? Possibly, yes.
Maybe.
Possibly something that my sober girlfriend has been like, maybe something we need to look at. But it's never full price. That is what I will give myself.
It's always in the sale. And I do think that has connected us as friends. It's just that you and I are quite happy to go shopping together and go non-verbal in a sale section. And just be like, I will be going through this rack from start to finish to find the best deal.
Yeah.
Your mother, very much the same.
Very much the same. But yes, an excellent episode title. And I have to say, I'm reading Twilight for the first time at the same time as we're watching this season. And the difference in quality between the chapter titles of Twilight chapters and West Wing episode titles is really quite startling.
Yeah, of course it fucking is. The thumbnail on my DVD menu for this was just Sam Seaborne soaking wet, and I'm into it.
Yeah.
There's something about, and actually, no, do you know what? I'm going to hold that thought for the end of the show because I have opinions.
Okay.
The previously on for this episode is pretty much just a recap of CJ's like internet troll and her hot new agent. So like, I am present, I am sat, I am ready.
I am alert.
I am
alert. Alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic.
Yes, famously from that weird song that you sometimes sing, and your eyes go blank, and I don't know what to do about it. Is that like a school thing?
It was a warm up that I once did at a kind of youth Amdram thing.
It's very Waiting for Guffman.
Yeah. It's very American. With all love and peace and respect.
Yeah.
As a proud half American myself.
Yeah. We open on the motorcade, arriving back at the White House. We've returned from Helsinki. Sam striding through the halls, Bonnie and Ginger trotting up to meet him because what do they want? Presents.
You like a good hotel gift shop, don't you? Such an excellent read from Bonnie.
Yes, because do you know what? They don't need gifts from their boss. But I do enjoy that he's like, I have to come back with something for the girls. I haven't done any shopping, so I will go to the hotel gift shop and I will buy them both something. Very cute.
It does kind of imply that like Bonnie and Ginger administratively have saved his ass so many times that he feels the need to kind of keep them sweet, which I enjoy.
Yes. There's a lot of talk about the fact that mainly what people eat in Helsinki is moose.
Yeah.
And then Sam says a very funny thing.
I don't like eating things when the cartoon character can talk and, hatch a plan.
I get that.
I get it.
And that's very, very funny. That's a real top zinger for me.
It's a real zinger, yeah.
And Sam's like, oh, I'm so tired. I just can't wait to like dump my stuff and then go home.
Sam will not be going to bed.
No, don't speak it into existence in the West Wing is what I would say.
Yeah.
And funny that, because there's a mysterious package on his desk. And in the mysterious package is a videotape. Nostalgia alert. And then there's a really enjoyable back and forth between him and Ginger about whether or not it might be porn.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the days when porn was on videos.
So quaint.
So quaint. I love Rob Lowe. I think this is going to be like, give him more.
Give him more.
Give him more.
Him and Dule Hill.
Yeah. Let's check in with CJ and Agent Donovan. I would like you to give your CJ and just start with this, if you may.
No, you understand? I am driving myself home. You want to follow me in the chase car? That's fine. But you have been annoying me for 6 days. You annoyed me here for 3 days. Then you annoyed me in Finland. You're quiet, you're polite, and you're there. You're always there. I can't shake you. You followed me to Scandinavia and back. Don't give me the shucks answer. Well, that's my job, ma'am. And don't call me ma'am. Don't call me ma'am. Don't call me Miss Cregg. This isn't a Western.
I have to call you ma'am or Miss Cregg. There are rules and regulations.
Okay, secret agent man. Here's my rules and regulations. I'm getting in my baby blue 65 Mustang convertible, and I'm going to feel the wind in my hair and any place else I want. You can look at my taillights.
I think I'm not allowed to do that either.
I will see you at home. It's so good.
When are they going to kiss, though?
Seriously.
They're like, the top of that joke being, I will see you at home, is just so good. And, why are we surprised? Aaron Sorkin is a rom-com genius. And if this doesn't end up somewhere romantic, he's insane.
He's insane. Also, I love that he throws in that, like, CJ has a really cool car.
Yeah, it's giving Princess Diaries.
Yeah. I also do love that this is like a common thread that we're seeing from CJ, in that over the course of the season, from the very beginning, we've learned that she will always insist on driving herself.
Yes. She's a Cali girl. She likes to drive. Are you going to let me drive myself home?
No, I've got your spark plug. Is that what you meant?
You've got my spark plug?
And your battery, fuel pump, starter relay, timing belt, the ignition fuse, and well, also the engine, I guess.
Did you leave me anything?
Wiper fluid. You can clean your windshield. No, actually, you'd need the battery.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good, but there's no time to revel in their chemistry, Leigh, because it wasn't porn on the videotape, it was an advert.
Our first political ad. I'm so excited.
See, I am excited for you to tell me more about this because this simply doesn't exist in the UK.
Yeah.
So Sam plays the ad and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I love a ridiculous political ad. There's something so nostalgic for a time when people really watched them on TV.
Yeah. So it's a smear ad. So it's anti-Bartlett.
Yeah.
And someone has sent it to the team, but there's no information, no note, no return address.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mystery. Jed Bartlett, what's he hiding from us now? The graphics, the voiceover, incredible.
Yeah.
The next morning, let's discuss a crazy interaction between Donna and Josh.
Oh, it's so crazy. My man, you came back to me.
And there's a little, that little bit goes on. He's like, well, I was away and now I'm back. And she's like, I missed you so.
Okay. The only way that this interaction is a fun kind of role play is in the case of it being a lesbian couple. I think it's very fun to then go my man is home.
Yes. Yeah.
To your lesbian girlfriend. I think that's very fun. But again, it's just too close to the bone.
I think it's totally fine to have inside jokes and bit jokes with your employee or colleague. Mm-hmm. I think that's so fine. And a kind of banterous energy or we do funny skits is absolutely fine. You can do that and that's not inappropriate.
Mm.
However, I think that we're cosplaying that we're a couple feels a little too far for me.
I think Amy would not be best pleased.
Do you know when you're would you still do that if Amy was in the room?
I think no. I think it's a hard no.
And there's the answer. He has a girlfriend. I think it's a little inappropriate. Am I a prude? I don't know.
Also, in theory, Donna has a boyfriend that we've seen hide nor hair of for episodes and episodes, but
I sure know that Cliff probably wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
But we got distracted away from this mad exchange by a little name flashing up on the screen, Leigh, and who was that?
Evan Rachel Wood. I was could it be a Bartlett daughter?
Which would have been incredible. But obviously I forget that in 2002, Evan Rachel Wood is 14 or something.
Yeah.
But she comes in later in the episode, and to say Leigh and I are thrilled is to make light of how we feel about this.
Yeah.
Now, Donna also has been given a gift, which is a lot of moose meat.
Yes.
And I would like to say, and we may have some Finnish listeners, I don't know, I feel that the people of Finland deserve an apology from Aaron Sorkin because he's sort of just distilled their entire country and I suppose culture into just moose meat.
Yeah.
Which does feel kind of mean. It's funny, but kind of mean.
It feels similar to distilling the whole of Irish culture down to potatoes, which has been known to happen, but it is a little kind of, I would say, reductive.
A little reductive is a great way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
To the war room. So we're downstairs in a little downstairs secret meeting room talking about the ad. And we're with Bruno.
We're with Bruno. And that does make me think that Doug and Connie are firmly in Mandyland because we just keep seeing Bruno on his own.
Yeah, I don't think they're coming back. I think they're done now. I think it was too many characters at the top of the season and they were this got confusing. Let's just cut them. So we watched the video. Bruno's obviously this is terrible. Mm-hmm. We need to spin this and we need to keep this to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a guy called Kevin Kahn is on the campaign team for Robert Ritchie, Jed's opposition. And surprise, surprise, old pals with Sam Seaborne.
Nostalgia for a time when someone working in a Democratic administration would have an old friend who's in the Republican campaign.
Right. And Sam's like, hey, do you know what? I'll reach out to Kevin. We could go and have lunch and I'll dig around and I'll see if they sent it to us or what's going on.
Yeah.
And Bruno's absolutely do not do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the quote is, I don't care if he did your bris. I don't trust Kevin Kahn and I don't know what this is yet.
Yeah.
Which is kind of incredible.
Yeah. I love a comical reference to a bris.
Yeah.
A la Carrie and Biggs' early dating, when they just run into each other at a very elite person's son's bris.
Yeah. And then, Leigh, you did clock something about Bruno.
Yes, I feel there is a depth of tragedy beneath the surface with Bruno that we've not yet tapped into. I feel like he's too crazed about his job not to have some kind of tragic backstory.
They flashed him out massively from the top of the season. When we first met him, he was just like a grumpy asshole who's like quite rude. But now I'm like, there's more beneath the surface, and I'd follow him into battle.
Yeah.
I trust him. And like when he's laying down the line with Sam and he's like, look, I'm going to try and work out what to do with this. I'm like, let's just listen to Bruno.
Yeah.
But we must away to Toby chairing a meeting with some TV people.
Yes. We're talking about the Democratic National Convention, the DNC.
The DNC. Now that I understood, and then I was lost. There was a lot of lingo I didn't understand. There was a lot of sky boxes and spinners.
No, that I think is a kind of must be terminology from a TV time of yore. But I think what it ultimately comes down to is that these TV people are like, the full DNC doesn't get good enough ratings and isn't sexy enough for it to be worth our while to air the whole thing.
Which is really funny. And they're like, yeah, we're just going to do the balloons and like the final speech and like we'll do a super cut.
Yeah.
Which is mad because you're like, oh, we're not in a 24-hour news cycle yet. So like there's not news channels yet. Or if there are, it's just that news channel because now, you know, news outlets have like 3 channels and there could be one that's just live DNC for a week. So yeah, and there's no YouTube live. So it's fascinating.
A different time.
Different time. But there's no time really to revel in that because Jed's talking about modern Shakespeare.
Yeah. Which, you know, to a certain extent, I'd say I'm with Jed in ways.
I'm told by those who saw it in London, it's spectacular. So it's all the Henry plays kind of supercut together.
Yeah.
And then like played out, which for its time in 2002 must have been considered a very modern.
Oh, crazy.
Very experimental.
I was screaming at this whole thing. I was just like, this is just so real. You just know that Jed would be one of those people who's like, I'm going to go to the Globe and stand in the pit as the common man once would have done.
You know, they ate oranges here to cover the smell. It's like he'd be giving a tour.
Yeah. And it would be like, please just watch the play. Please just watch the play.
The actors are trying to perform. Please, Mr. President, please.
I just loved, let me ask you something. What Plantagenet do I most remind you of?
In the doorway of the sit room. We're about to step into the sit room and that is the question he asks.
It's also so like, Ms. Quiz. Which Gilmore girl are you? Yeah. Also, like, we're spoiled with Fitzy in 2 apps in a row. But can we not have Nancy and Fitzy in 1 app?
Why is it one or the other? Yeah. I want to see them interact.
Same.
But you see, Jed's bubble is almost immediately burst because there is a credible terrorist threat. More on that later. We will move back to the news. Because, unsurprisingly, Toby's not taken the kind of information from the TV execs very well at all.
No.
This is possibly one of my favourite Tobyisms. Look, this is obviously do not eat the fruit. This is obviously a negotiating position for you, so what is it that you need? You want us to vote a member of the Rules Committee out of the convention every night or something? Should the secretary eat a jellyfish? For me, him being like, don't have a snack. Those are not for you if you're being rude to me. And I really, really hope that was an ad lib.
Yeah.
It was a chef's kiss moment. Just this guy reaching over for a banana and Toby Ziegler being like, no, do not eat the fruit.
And I also love that basically Toby Ziegler is going like, before the Hunger Games ever existed, do you want this to be the Hunger Games?
Yeah. And then we get a reuse of a line that I think Aaron's just decided is one of his top favourite lines.
Yes. Oh, I have more on Aaron. Go.
Excellent. So in response to Toby's outburst, one of the TV execs goes, "Don't talk to me like I'm other people."
Yeah, it's like, okay. It was a
We
great
get it,
line.
Aaron. It was a great
the
line.
first time. I don't know that like Toby knows these people that well. Like it doesn't have quite the same like gut punch as it did between Abby and CJ. No, what I was going to say is our most recent episode came out and the queer nuts, the gaggle, if you will, were wanting to let us know that the concept for lemonlyman.com came from the fact that Aaron Sorkin went into a West Wing chat room and got like ripped to shreds.
Incredible news. This is my new Roman Empire. Of course he did. Of course he did.
Of course he did. And also, the reason why that line, looking for mind at work, is in the show is because Lin-Manuel Miranda based the song around that line from The West Wing.
Are you kidding?
No, he was like...
Are you actually kidding now?
Vibing.
That's crazy.
He was like vibing watching The West Wing while he was writing Hamilton. I think neither of us have fully clocked until recently the fact that Lin-Manuel Miranda is obsessed with The West Wing.
Hey, buddy, if you want to come on the pod, be my guest. We'd love to have you on. He's not a listener, but that's fine. One day, maybe.
Did I tell you that the night that Richard Schiff went to Hamilton, you know that gesture that Toby does at CJ to like apologize when she's in the press briefing and he's like apologizing to her and he does that like little gesture.
Yeah.
That we were like so moving. Yeah. When Richard Schiff went to see Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda as Alexander Hamilton did that gesture to him on
Looks
stage.
Like we got a little wingnut on our hands. Do you know what? I love everything about this.
Yeah.
Because the freaks and the geeks, and me as a proud freak and geek, we need to get our flowers because high school was hard.
It was.
Okay. Life has been rough. But then we find a little community of other freaks. And then we lift each other up. And some of us write Tony award-winning musicals.
Yeah.
Some of us don't.
Yeah.
Absolutely sensational. Thank you, Leigh, for those tidbits. Thrilled, excited, stunning.
Gorgeous.
It's Tuesday. And I would like to note that Flamingo is still CJ's code name.
Yeah.
Which I think is still offensive. And then she's like, just to let you know, Agent Donovan, I'm going shopping at lunch because my niece has got a prom and I'm going to help her buy a prom dress.
CJ is a fun auntie. She's like the ultimate fun auntie. I was immediately like, she's going to be a fun auntie to Evan Rachel Wood.
Yes. And then she's like, my niece Hogan. And I was like, whoa, Hogan? Hogan? Not a popular name, I would say. Like, I haven't met any Hogans in my life other than Hulk.
I don't think it's like uncommon in the US.
Oh, is it not?
No, not as a name, but to give especially girls like their mum's maiden name as a first name. I do know of that happening in a way that I feel it doesn't super happen.
Yes, I feel like that makes sense. And then, because CJ then says, oh, yeah, you're thinking Hogan. That's a pretty weird name for a girl. And then she says, like, both my brothers are golfers. Or like my brother's a golfer. So maybe there's like a golfer that has that name. Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah.
We also get this back and forth, which is sensational. Anything else, Agent Sunshine?
It's Special Agent Sunshine.
Take each other to bed.
Please, just get it over with. Do you know what I mean? Put us all out of our misery.
Please. And if there could be some fun kissing in the show.
Please, for the love of Christ.
Leigh and I would be thrilled if there was some kissing. Because there's not enough. I thought there would be more. There was a time when there was quite a lot.
Yeah.
And ain't no one kissing now.
No. CJ taking her niece shopping at Barney's for a junior prom is just, it's so cool.
Yeah. Like, that's glam.
Also, Carol is looking gorgeous in like a sage green blouse, like a dark grey, slightly oversized suit.
Yes.
And she is reading for CJ for filth, for flirting, which I also enjoyed.
Because Agent Donovan leaves and CJ's like, I just want to confirm something with you, Carol. If we could just roll back over that conversation you overheard. Like, was I flirting?
Was I in fact flirting? And Carol is like, yes, you were.
Yes, you were.
And CJ is like, that is terrible news.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. I really enjoyed how gently Carol led CJ to where CJ needed to go mentally.
Mm-hmm.
CJ, you fancy your bodyguard?
Yeah.
Hey, Martha. New character alert. Little Martha. Little lady walks up to Josh. One of those sort of administrative characters who are like, you are terrifying. I don't want to be on the bad side of Martha. But anyway, Martha's like, look, you were given some moose meat in Helsinki. That's now on eBay.
Not good.
And Josh is like, oh yeah, oh gosh, sorry. That's my bad.
Yeah,
Which means that it wasn't even a gift for Donna originally. He's just re-gifted her some unwanted moose meat.
Yeah. I also do feel that Martha is the kind of like terrifying finance woman that just, when you see coming, you know it's because you fucked up.
Oh, truly.
Yeah.
So Josh is like, I'm going to have to go and tell Donna off now. Cue him walking into the bullpen and it being a gaggle of EAs. Mm-hmm. Donna and Margaret chairing a meeting.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make sense because in terms of the assistants, if Margaret's the lead assistant to the chief of staff and Donna is the lead assistant to the deputy chief of staff, they would be the top assistants.
Yeah. But this is because the assistant salaries are being published. Margaret was like, this is the annual list. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy that every year your salary is just made public. Crazy. And essentially Margaret's like, look, this happens every year and, we just need to move on and, have some decorum, etc., etc. I loved it. Also, Margaret is wearing a really gorgeous outfit.
She's in like a checkered shift dress and matching like long line blazer.
And I choose to believe that the costume department is doing this now, where they're picking out outfits based for like the character's psychological, like there's no way that Margaret would have known I'm chairing a meeting and would have just put on something she'd already worn. Like this is a fresh outfit to her that she would have purchased in the sales and been like, I'm going to keep that back for the salary meeting. Because that's just the woman I believe her to be.
Agreed.
Anyway, Josh is like, Donna, I don't care that you gave the meat to an intern. They can't sell on eBay, so you have to go and fire this guy.
Donna has to fire someone, dear Christ.
But also like, Josh, this is your mess. Because you could have just said, Donna, I didn't get you anything. Also, I got this moose meat. I don't want it. Do you want it? But we can't really stay in that because both you and I are fearful for Sam Seaborne and this Kevin Kahn storyline.
Yeah, it's stressful.
Because Kevin Kahn rings Sam and Ginger passes on a message. And so Sam's like, hey, oh my God, Kevin's just called me out of the blue, my old pal. I guess I'll go for lunch with him, even though Bruno told me that I shouldn't.
Terrible. Terrible idea.
Brief update about the terrorist threat.
And also Shakespeare.
The update from Fitzy is that the terrorist attack could possibly be on like an air base or Navy base near the White House, but therefore could also be on the White House.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. If Shakespeare wrote a play about me, how many parts do you think it would be?
That's the most male thing ever.
So true.
And what I enjoy is that Charlie is really getting both barrels of this modern Shakespeare adaptation stuff. And then John Spencer just has to cut through and be like, I want you to get into a mental place where you could have an unidentified plane shut down. Like
the peaks and troughs of this
big
show.
Shift of energy. God, Leo's good. John Spencer is so good.
He's so good.
The way he like looks at Jed and is like, I know that you're doing this Shakespeare thing because you're scared. But I'm not gonna name it that way. I'm just gonna say I need you to sit down and think about the fact that we're gonna be coming to you with perhaps like the moment. The moment might be coming.
I also just like, didn't John Spencer earlier in the episode go like, No, the real punishment would be if we had to go.
Yes. I like that Leo is 100% one of those people who is like, I don't do the theater.
I will not be taking in a Shakespeare play.
Do you know what? I'll be in the diner over the road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get myself a sandwich. You guys go ahead.
I'm reading a memoir at the moment. I don't feel the need to engage in fiction.
But this is the interesting thing that Leo's bringing into the room, which is basically, what if the threat is on the White House?
Mm-hmm.
What are the next steps? And I think it's interesting because Jed's like, look, I'm not going to any bunker. I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
Like, you can get Abby out of here. Like, put her on Marine One. I don't give a crap. Like, if you want to take me out of here, you're going to have to call quite a lot of security guys because I'm not going to go quietly.
And then there's a whole exchange about how Jed's feet wouldn't touch the ground, which was a very funny mental image for me of Jed as quite a small man and his little legs kicking. But
yeah, your feet may touch the ground once or twice, but I doubt it. And I was looking up online, and I think this is, so Dick Cheney, when he was taken to the bunker on September 11th, like quoted that he was whipped up so fast, like the moment when the Secret Service came in and like bundled him there, he was like, I think my feet barely touched the ground, like when I recollect it. So I think that was
interesting
with reference to that comment.
It would make sense for it to be a reference either to George Bush or Dick Cheney on 9/11, and the fact, like, there would have been a lot of discussion in the zeitgeist about, I think people were angry that George Bush wasn't kind of visible on 9/11.
Yeah. But let's go to the mall.
Please, let's go to the mall.
Not Nora Jones playing in the background.
It's so
Not Nora
2002.
Jones playing in Barney's. Stunning. Here's to Nora Jones.
Yeah.
Here's to you, girl. I think I'd like to go shopping with CJ.
Oh my God, I want to be 14 and be taken shopping by CJ. Like, please.
The way that CJ's like, try anything on you want. And Hogan's like, but it's expensive. And she's like, no, I'll buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah, it's so good. I also love Fi's copied out the exchange between Simon Donovan and Hogan. And you have full named Hogan as Hogan Cregg, which obviously, because she's the daughter of CJ's brother, she would have the same surname. But I just love the full name.
Yeah.
Hogan Cregg.
Hogan Cregg. It's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. Poor girl.
So CJ's like just flipping through the racks, and she's like, do you know what? I'm going to try a few things on. Which also is amazing fun auntie energy to be like, we're here to buy you something, but probably I'm going to come out of this with shopping bags.
I'm probably going to come out with a Vera Wang.
So she goes off to the changing rooms, and then Hogan's like, hey, Agent Donovan, like, I've got some questions for you. And they have this like quite personal exchange.
I didn't know how to feel about, I know maybe times have changed since 2002, but I didn't feel comfortable about how much, this is not a criticism, I'm still very much enjoying Simon Donovan otherwise, but he was touching her a lot and getting quite close to her.
See, that for me kind of broke the magic a little bit, because I feel like, because he did say several times, like, you know, like, you're allowed to ask questions, but like, you and I shouldn't really talk like this. Yeah. Which I think was because he like had his hands on her shoulders, and he was like moving her to like look, to like be like, oh, this is what I look for. And in my head, I'm like, I just don't think you would ever put hands on anyone in your job unless you're like protecting.
Especially a teenage girl.
Yeah, it's just part of me was like, if someone who was in the Secret Service watched that episode, they'd be like, yeah, 100%, he's just broken the magic. Do you know what I mean? May I be Simon? Anything bother you?
No.
What about the guy in the coat?
What about him?
It's May. Why is he wearing a coat?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but until one of us leaves the store, I'm always going to know where he is. Meanwhile, you're just seeing CJ's legs in the dressing room.
The shot of CJ's legs, like under the door of the dressing room, is so fit.
I know. Anyway, Hogan's kind of like asking lots of questions, and she asks in a very much what a 14-year-old would do. She's like, oh, like, you've done this before? And he's like, yeah, I used to work for the president. And then she's like, oh, so you were at Roslyn. And that's when we find out that Simon Donovan was part of the close protection team for the president when the attack happened at Roslyn. Very interesting personal backstory for him. And then CJ comes out in the Black Vera Wang.
Yeah. It's incredible.
She looks amazing.
No notes.
No notes. In fact, we need to say no more other than perfection.
Yeah.
Don't mess with an EA.
Don't.
Hey, Stacey.
It's Margaret.
I thought Margaret was the girl who worked here before.
I'm the girl who worked here before. I'm Margaret.
You changed your hair.
No. Dare I say, I feel like I did quite a good Margaret impression just then.
You did. Yes, you are that girl, Margaret. You are that girl.
I'm obsessed. And then I was like, is Bruno in fact flirting with Margaret?
I think he is. And I think we clocked this before when we were like, this is a long game.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he's being an asshole by not knowing her name, but there is a twinkle. And then he's like, oh, hey, this is for you. And then like walks away. And he's given her a jewelry box. And you're going to have to describe this because I actually can't.
It's the ugliest fucking necklace I've ever seen. It's like trying to be the Carrie necklace.
It so is.
But it's in like all block capitals and bold. It's so ugly.
It is the necklace that a man buys when he has never bought jewelry before. And he has gone into like a mall. And there's like, you know, like a pop-up jewelry stand. And he's been like, do you have Margaret? Do you have the name Margaret? And the person there's like, yeah, that's $12.
Yeah.
And he's like, perfect.
Oh, it's so heinous.
It's really awful. And also, I can confirm 100% that Margaret would never wear that.
She would never. She's
However,
a very elegant woman.
A beautiful, like simple, like locket. Like a beautiful, like M, just a single M on a gold chain. Perhaps. She ain't wearing that necklace. She's not going to wear that.
No.
However, she is going to keep that in her desk.
Yeah.
Obsessed. Let's go to the lunch that Sam isn't supposed to be at.
Yeah. He is
What
looking...
the fuck was the vibe here?
He was looking at this Republican man with so much love. It feels like old lovers reuniting for me.
Okay, so I've got a take.
Okay.
We have encountered quite a few of Sam's old friends through this show. And he is always very nostalgic when he's like, oh, my buddy, this guy who's like running for Congress. And then that person's like, oh, I read Mein Kampf one time. And Sam's like,
God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Like, I just think maybe in college, Sam was more conservative than he is now. And I think every time he meets up with these old friends, he's realizing more and more that he's actually much more liberal and that he's really outgrown that set of friends.
Oh my God, I love that.
And that, you
I
know,
see
he was
that for him.
And that he was at college with these very privileged, wealthy white men who were all like talking politics and saying that they were going to work on the Hill. And then it's just turned out that like, actually all of them were kind of quite conservative. And he's ended up like going to New York and having a very different career. And every time he bumps back into them, he's like, oh, we don't get on.
Yeah. Haven't we all been there?
Honestly. And then he does the dumbest thing
He
he's
makes
ever
a huge
done.
mistake. Sam has made a huge, colossal mistake. And he's been doing so well at work recently, so it's very upsetting.
He gives the tape to Kevin Kahn. He's like, hey, by the way, we got this in the mail and we don't know who it's from. Anyway, we wanted to be really clear and honest and just like give it to you guys because I don't know if someone's doing this behind your back. If you've got nothing to do with it, what are you doing?
You're so dumb.
Also, please tell me that this is a copy and you didn't give him the actual tape.
I think he gave him the actual tape.
Oh. And he has sown his seeds, and we shall check back in when he is reaping the rewards of this. Let's check back in with the firing. So Donna's, I appreciate how she kind of puts her foot down. She's like, I'm not firing someone over this. Should we talk about the wide leg slacks very briefly?
She's in a gorgeous kind of maroon burgundy blouse and like a wide leg khaki slack, and it's gorge.
And she has a little updo
Yeah.
And we don't see her with an updo.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a more undone look for her, and I loved it.
But to some bros talking TV.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno and Toby are checking in about the DNC.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the building of their relationship here.
Yeah, agreed. I wouldn't mind hitting some of the people. I can make it look real.
Andy talks. He wants to get these things off his chest. But in the end, if we had Tiny Tim and Miss What's-Her-Name doing the roll call, they would never cover it like that. I think he's referring to Miss Piggy. Yes, because this Muppets Christmas Carol was already like 10 years into its tenure at this point.
Oh my God, incredible.
So like we are at the height of the power of the Muppets.
We're at the height of the power of Miss Piggy specifically. I have so much love for Miss Piggy. I aspire to be like her in every way I can. I
have this like dream, which is that the Muppets host a late night show. And like Kermit and Miss Piggy are the hosts. So they like interview people. And then you've still got a band, you've still got like segments, but like that they are running like a late night show.
You know, Miss Piggy's getting her own movie soon.
Yeah, and so she should.
And so she should.
She's an icon of cinema and TV. I love the Muppets.
Me too. There I said it. I love it.
There I said it. People have been crying out for us to have a stance on this, Leigh. The brotherhood we feel is strong.
The brotherhood is strong between Bruno and Toby, and I appreciate it.
I think they're going to be a very dynamic team.
Agreed.
Is it time to go to the bunker?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I will say is there's a lot going on in this episode because the terrorist threat is such a big storyline.
I'm so excited. I just feel like we're really ramping up into the end of the season. I feel like the end of the season episodes are always the best episodes. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I agree. And I just think it feels ages since we've had something like this and the CJ storyline. Now, I was kind of frustrated. I was like, oh, but like they're going to the sit room and they're like, look, we think it might be attack on the White House, and like literally no one's talking about it apart from Leo and Jed. This is so like frustrating. Like, where's the panic? And then I was like, no one would know.
Yeah,
like everyone's going about their day. Of course, no one knows.
Yeah,
I'm not going to the bunker. There are going to be people who aren't going to the bunker, and when I get out, I'm not going to be able to tell them what to do anymore. And I like doing that. Let's get Abby to New Hampshire, but I'm not going to the bunker. And if you say I have to, then I'm walking across the alley with the Chief Justice and I'm handing John Hoynes my resignation. And as soon as he's sworn in, I'll tell him to appoint me as vice president because I'm not going down to the bunker. If the agents come, but tell Ronnie better bring more than a couple of guys.
I love him.
I actually think this would be this should be.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to think that this is a natural reaction for a president. I would like to think that.
Yeah, because, you know, there's a certain element of like, well, if I get sent to the bunker, then I'm just letting all of these colleagues and people who support me die if there is a strike.
Yeah. Speaking of valued colleagues, Bruce the intern.
The intern, for God's sake.
Sweet summer child. It's very well cast and very well acted because this intern is like, I have no idea what I'm doing or what's happening. And he just gets a really good telling off from Donna.
It's so good.
And she's very good. And I just don't think we would have seen that in season 1.
No, we're allowing her to be much more high-powered, much more professional, much more together. And we love that.
Things are about to get really bad.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, Sam's actions are coming home to roost.
Bruno is about to kick Sam's ass. That's quite clear. He's just too earnest and trusting. It is his being too earnest and trusting is his Achilles heel. It's 100%. Like his old bros are his kryptonite.
Yeah. And I think it's just because he believes in government.
The problem with Sam is that he believes in human decency and he shouldn't.
And that like good will out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that just doesn't exist.
No.
In the words of Bruno, this isn't bad, Sam. Let me show you bad. And then he goes into the bullpen and he takes Sam and he like points to the TV and the fucking ad is playing.
Yeah. On every channel.
On every channel. And all the news outlets are covering it.
Mm-hmm. Which brings us to the homoerotic moment in the rain.
Let's. It's Thursday. Sam's just like sitting in his car in the rain outside of a building. Red flag. And then a man exits that building with an umbrella, and Sam just like strides out into the rain because it's Kevin, and like grabs Kevin by the shoulder and flings him around. He's like, hey man, what was that about? And they have this like little tiff in the rain, and Kevin's like, yeah, like fuck you. I basically like don't really like you, and like I'm gonna do what I want. And at the end of the day, like the president said some really rude stuff about my good friend Robert Ritchie, and like you're saying it's an accident, but I don't believe it was an accident.
Which it wasn't an accident.
Well, yeah, but Sam doesn't know that.
Right.
Only CJ does. And they're both just like sopping wet.
Sam keeps having these really emotionally charged moments with men in the rain when one of them at least is very wet. And
someone's got to kiss at some point.
I don't know how we're maintaining the facade of heterosexuality at this point. I really don't.
All I know is that Kevin's an asshole, and a very smug asshole at that. And I bet that Kevin's still friends with Lisa. He's like, oh, well, you know, I can see him being like, well, I wasn't going to stop being friends with her just because you guys broke up. There's a conclusion to the terror attack storyline, which is that the attack has been stopped and they've detained the person who was planning to do it, but bad things are happening. And the kind of trickle onwards for that, which I think is leading us into our season finale, is that it's coming back around to the Women of Kumar episode. And it's actually someone who's associated with a terrorist cell from that country, from that fictional country. Yeah. So that I think that's our season finale. We are maybe going to have to do like a sort of like SAS, like Black Ops type thing to find this guy. Yeah. But we're going to close out with Flamingo.
CJ's in like a pale blue wide leg suit with a navy blouse. It's a great look.
The tension, the chemistry. I believe we have a Kevin Costner bodyguard situation on our hands.
Yeah, we do.
And like, what is going to be the equivalent of the silk scarf and the samurai sword? Because it's coming. Yeah. And then like, anyway, CJ's like, oh, anyway, I'm going to go home. Agent Donovan checks in on her emails and opens an email, and it's titled The Black Vera Wang. And the email, I didn't write down exactly what it said because I was so shook. Yeah. But it said something like, you looked really good in that dress, which is a good thing because in a week you're going to be dead. Yeah. And that's where the episode ended. And I've actually literally got goosebumps just saying that out loud. Yeah. So I don't know about you, Leigh, but I feel pretty confident that our season finale is going to be these two storylines.
What else could Aaron possibly hit us with?
I think we have to have something about, there needs to be an escalation for CJ's storyline that is going to shake her relationship with her job.
Yeah, I think we've set up that it likely is someone she knows.
Yeah, but who? And I feel like it would be amazing if it's someone we've met. Yeah. It would be amazing and also awful if it was someone from the Robert Ritchie campaign. As like a, let's shake his staff. I mean, I think that's kind of fucked up, so I don't think that'll happen. But that...
I also think we've been like set up to believe that it's going to be a man.
Yes. And actually, I was interested to talk to you about this because when this storyline first started with CJ, I was like, oh, I'm actually really pleased because, you know, we've had these like moments where like our male characters, like, you know, Josh got shot and like we felt like, you know, there might just be like a ruckus, like someone might like beat up someone. But there's a very specific type of like violence and assault towards women that I think was coming into its own in a new way in 2002, which was, you know, the rise of the internet and people having cell phones and people having email and message boards and chat rooms meant that like stalking became like
easier.
It had a different flavor to it than it had perhaps previously. And I think for someone who's like a high profile woman like CJ, this is such an interesting threat to have against her because it's like psychological warfare. Yeah. That makes her living her normal life feel unsafe, but without changing anything about her normal life.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, if you look at 2002 and popular culture and like where like movie stars were at and where pop stars were at, like there was some really high profile stalking cases happening at that time to high profile women. And it makes complete sense to kind of like put that into CJ's character arc. Because I think, you know, it's not her like having someone like put their hand over her mouth and like bundle her into an alleyway. It's a different type of violence towards her. I think it's really interesting. And I'm really interested to see how Aaron plays it through. And whether it'll be one of those things where she'll be given a scene to like talk to that individual. Or whether it's like, I don't want to ever know who it was.
Yeah. But we as the audience know.
No, yeah. Excited.
It's Danny Concannon.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
It won't be.
It won't be.
It won't be.
It won't be, but that was fun for a few seconds there. My brain was like, ding, 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 ding. Shall we go to the quickfires, Leigh?
Yeah, please.
Best fashion.
I have to agree. It's the Black Vera Wang every time.
Yeah, but the gals are just looking absolutely incredible. I feel like some new costumes have dropped into the costume department. What could a British or Irish politician never get away with?
I think something along the lines of saying, let me ask you something. If Shakespeare wrote a play about me, how many parts do you think it would be?
Yeah, that's curtains, really, isn't it? I think having a sexy argument in the rain.
Yeah.
Famously, as a nation, we just don't do well like being damp.
No, famously, in recent years, it's not gone well for anyone.
Like in American movies, so often there's like these big moments in the rain. And I would like to say that just doesn't really track in the UK. And even in, it's Four Weddings and a Funeral, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end, when Hugh Grant comes to Andie MacDowell's house in the rain.
Yeah.
Like even then, it's not like a sexy look. It's sort of like a disheveled moment.
Yeah.
There's just something quite pathetic about it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Whereas like Jed Bartlett going out to announce his re-election.
Incredible. Queerest moment that never intended to be queer.
I have to agree with you. Just everything that happened between Sam and Kevin was very gay.
Even just the tension at the lunch table.
Also, dare I say, Kevin was kind of giving like bitter ex-twink. Do you know what I mean?
I do. Maybe that's the reason why he's so close with Lisa, because he's like, I guess she was really great. I guess she was greater than me. So now she's my friend. I don't know, there's something fucked up about it, and it does like speak of like toxic ex to me. What was your best writerly moment?
I don't like eating things when the cartoon character can talk and, you know, hatch a plan.
Very good. Very good. I went for quite like an earnest one. I went for Jed's speech about not going into the bunker. I just thought that was just like very well written and enjoyable. What was your man? I feel like a man.
I think just like Josh telling Donna to fire someone.
Yeah.
It was just like the immediate jump to firing was just very male for me.
Definitely. Like you better go do that. I really liked the I wouldn't mind hitting some of the people and I can make it look real. And I had a very clear proudest moment to be an American. What was yours?
I think mine was Jed's speech about not going to the bunker.
Mine was like at the end of the episode. So CJ was like, oh, what's this thing that you and Hogan were talking about? And Agent Donovan was like, oh, that I was at Roslyn and I was like assigned to Eagle on that day. And CJ just like puts her hand on her chest and she just says, thank you. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Amazing. Well, I've never been more stoked to go on to the next episode, but we must go to school first. So what are we learning today?
We're going to learn about political ads.
Yay. Okay, cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. So as Lin-Manuel Miranda getting a lot of airtime this week, but as we see in Hamilton, attack ads have existed since the election of 1800. And there is a long history in the United States of political attack ads not telling the truth. Thomas Jefferson called John Adams a monarchist, which was kind of the worst thing you could call someone at the time. And John Adams called Thomas Jefferson an atheist.
Oh, equal beef.
Yeah. Neither of those things was true. Tom Houlihan, who's a USC Annenberg media and politics professor, says politics has always been a blood sport in the United States. The odds of having a campaign and not having a lot of personal invectives thrown about were really pretty rare. In the election of 1828, candidate Andrew Jackson was called a murderer. His mother was called a sex worker, and his wife was called an adulteress. So yeah, when people say like, oh, politics used to be a gentleman's sport or whatever, lies. In the United States, lies. In 1884, the Republicans called the Democratic candidate Grover Cleveland a lecherous beast.
Oh my God.
And a moral leper because he had fathered a child out of wedlock.
Legend.
Resulting in the famous GOP chant, "Ma, ma, where's my pa?"
I mean, whoever came up with that, that's really good. I mean, I would say probably inappropriate, but like, that's a good day at work.
To which Cleveland supporters would respond, "Gone to the White House, ha ha ha."
Oh, to be a fly on those walls.
The Democrats in that election jeered the Republican candidate with the chant, "Blaine, Blaine, James G. Blaine, the continental liar from the state of Maine."
Look, people aren't chanting enough, like kind of like
there's not
rhyming
enough political
chants.
Chanting. There's not.
Because honestly, like, I do love for people to speak as one,
Yeah.
And I will say that I think football chants, there are obviously some that are just incredibly, soccer I'm talking about, and there are obviously some that are incredibly offensive and people should just stop doing them. But there are a lot of fun, silly football chants.
There are. And I have to say, I have been getting into the women's football recently. I live very close to the Emirates Stadium where Arsenal ladies play, and I've been enjoying going there. And the football chants are fun to get into, I must say.
Yeah.
Especially at women's football, because it's just kind of generally less hateful.
Yeah.
But the New York Historical Exhibit, I approve this message, decoding political ads, says, studies show that we as viewers feel first and think later. Once a choice is made, facts rarely change our mind, even among the most educated of us. So the most memorable campaigns aim for our hearts and run the gamut from stirring to downright dirty. So in terms of TV campaign ads, they really arrive on the scene. The year is 1952.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
President Harry Truman has declined to run for a second term, as we discussed in our What Even Is New Hampshire study session. And so the contest is shaping up between Democratic Illinois Governor Adlai Stevenson and the Republican General Dwight D. Eisenhower. The GOP starts spreading a rumor that the Democrat Adlai Stevenson was a homosexual, which is something in and of itself.
Yeah.
But in terms of the first TV ads, at this point, 35% of Americans had a television. And so now suddenly TV needs to be taken seriously as a medium.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a game of chicken to see who was going to go first in terms of bringing the election to the TV.
To the TV.
And Eisenhower and Stevenson both initially resisted. In fact, because they felt that TV ads were beneath the office. And for that reason, TV networks at the time, which was NBC and CBS, tried to actively convince the campaigns not to buy television time because it would degrade the democratic process.
Oh, how far we've fallen.
We've fallen so far. The done thing at this point by campaign strategists was to buy like 30-minute blocks to broadcast campaign speeches. But then The Eisenhower campaign hires a Madison Avenue advertising executive named Rosser Reeves, who created the M&M slogan, melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
Ooh, so big deal in the
old... A big cheese, if you will.
Big cheese.
And this man convinced Eisenhower to create short ads that could air during popular TV programs like I Love Lucy, that would then reach more people because they didn't have to specifically tune in for a full speech.
Yes.
They could just catch them while they were catching this week's episode of I Love Lucy. And basically this permanently changed the way presidential campaigns were run forever. He started the spot ads with a campaign titled Eisenhower Answers America, which was these 20-second spots where Eisenhower would respond to a question from, quote, an ordinary citizen. They were tourists who'd been enlisted outside Radio City Music Hall and photographed kind of looking up as though gazing at a hero. And then Eisenhower would read kind of folksy responses from cue cards. It was all filmed in one day in a Manhattan studio. And it was kind of to show that Eisenhower is like a plain-speaking man of the people. Mm. And it was all questions about the three big concerns of the day, which was the Korean War, corruption in government, and the high cost of living. Mm. There was also short little spot ads with what became known as the I Like Ike cartoon, with music by Irving Berlin, produced by Walt Disney's brother, Roy, at Disney Studios.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm actually just going to show you what we're talking about.
Incredible. And I'm watching.
Ike for president, Ike for president, Ike for president, Ike for president. You like Ike, I like Ike. Everybody likes Ike for president.
She's dancing.
We'll take Ike to Washington. We got to get where we are going. Travel day and night for president. Let Adelaide go the other way. We'll all go with Ike. You like Ike, I like Ike.
She's really dancing.
Hang out the back. We'll take Ike to Washington. We'll take Ike to Washington.
Now is the time for all good Americans to come to the aid of their country. Vote for Eisenhower.
I loved that. And I'll tell you for why. Because it's animated.
Yeah.
Approachable. Mm-hmm. Enjoyable. It's also got a catchy tune that people are going to be singing as they're going down the street. Great use of like cartoonifying the donkeys and elephants as well.
Yeah. Very fun.
Very fun.
Adlai Stevenson, Eisenhower's opponent, is quoted as saying, I think the American people will be shocked by such contempt for their intelligence. This isn't a soap opera. This isn't Ivory Soap versus Palm Olive. The idea that you can merchandise candidates for high office like breakfast cereal is the ultimate indignity to the democratic process.
I'm glad he's not alive now. Because he would not be happy with how things are.
No. Stevenson had a different strategy. He put out 18 half-hour speeches airing on Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 10:30 p.m. With the goal to kind of show off his oratorical skills and build name recognition by kind of building a regular audience for these broadcasts, but it was too late of a time slot, and all of the people who were watching were kind of already Stevenson supporters. They were visually uninteresting, and also he frequently ran over, so he would just still be talking and the broadcast would just fade to black.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'm honestly, like, if you were doing like a half-hour speech that you couldn't even finish on time,
yeah,
and your opponent was doing that, you're gonna lose.
Then we move on to 1960. Kennedy, leadership for the 60s, which is a great slogan. He had like nearly 200 commercials. They were super varied in like the style of them. It was kind of disorganized because he had two competing agencies doing his ads, but they kind of showcased his spontaneous speaking abilities with excerpts from rallies, speeches and debates, and a variety of endorsement ads, including Jackie Kennedy did a Spanish language ad aimed at Hispanic voters, which I love.
Amazing.
And Harry Belafonte did an ad in support of Kennedy aimed at African-American voters who the campaign was worried would not vote for Kennedy on the basis of him being a Catholic.
Right.
Kennedy also had a catchy song, if you'd like to press play on the next ad.
I would. Kennedy for me.
My favorite thing about the Kennedy ad is that it is very much like, but just look at how hot our candidate is. Isn't he a dreamboat? Just all of these kind of collaged photos of Kennedy, just like looking dreamy.
What's inspired is the use of women's voices in this. Oh, and then we just finish on a family photo.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes, I think that's really smart because I think everyone was like, oh, women will vote for him because he's handsome.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's really great marketing to be like, no, like I'm engaged politically as a woman and I just think he's the best candidate.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
What I will say is there's a huge tonal shift in 1964 with LBJ put out a really famous ad. It only aired once. It's called Daisy. And basically it was pulled from the air for fear mongering because of it was an attack ad on Goldwater, who was LBJ's opponent's hardline on nuclear stuff.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 8, 9.
She's not dancing.
10,
9, 8.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
5,
Oh my God.
3, 2, 1, 0. These are the stakes.
What the
To make a
fuck?
world in which all of God's children can live, or to go into the dark. We must either love each other, or we must die.
Yeah, it only aired once.
Yeah, funny that. It's literally a child like picking the like petals off of the daisy and counting them and then that turning into the countdown for a nuclear attack.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. The voiceover reads, these are the stakes to make a world where all God's children can live or go into the dark. We must either love each other or we must die. Vote for President Johnson on November 3rd. The stakes are too high for you to stay home.
Bloody hell.
Tom Holohan, again, USC Annenberg media and politics professor, says the Daisy commercial was probably the most savagely negative ad up until that time because it essentially made the argument that if you don't vote to re-elect President Johnson and you vote for Goldwater, you're essentially voting for nuclear war.
Which is nuts. That's really messed me up.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it continues to kind of get crazier on from there. Because we then get into Nixon.
Oh, yeah.
Who really takes the whole kind of fear angle and runs with it in his political ads in 1968. For me, when I watched it, I was very much like, why is this opening like an episode of The Twilight Zone?
Oh my God.
In recent years, crime in this country has grown 9 times as fast as population. At the current rate, the crimes of violence in America will double by 1972. We cannot accept that kind of future for America.
Violence,
we owe it to the
guns.
decent and law-abiding citizens of America to take the offensive against the criminal forces that threaten their peace and their security, and to rebuild respect for law across this country. I pledge to you, the wave of crime is not going to be the wave of the future in America.
I mean, if you were a housewife...
You'd be scared.
Yeah. the movie suspense music in the background.
Do you see what I mean about how it feels like because there's the music and then there's also the fact that the images at the start are like spinning. It does feel like you're watching an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy from him.
But then, of course, we get to Ronald Reagan in 1984. And he has what is referred to as one of the most emotionally effective political ads of all time. Really kind of showcasing white picket fence America. And to me, my kind of vibe of it was it kind of feels like watching the opening narration of Princess Bride.
Okay. That's not what I thought you were going to say.
It's called Morning in America.
It's morning again in America. Today, more men and women will go to work than ever before in our country's history. With interest rates at about half the record highs of 1980, nearly 2,000 families today will buy new homes, more than at any time in the past 4 years. This afternoon, 6,500 young men and women will be married. And with inflation at less than half of what it was just 4 years ago, they can look forward with confidence to the future. It's morning again in America. And under the leadership of President Reagan, our country is prouder.
It's a good one, isn't it?
And better.
Flags are being raised.
Why would we ever want to return to where we
The
were
flags are fluttering in the
less than
wind.
4 short years ago?
That's inspired.
It's so good, isn't it? You almost like want to cry at the end. You're like, why have I been on? It's kind of silly because you do see like at one point you see like a bride kind of running in slow motion to hug her grandmother, and it's like we've taken this too far.
It's full kind of Hallmark energy.
Yeah.
But the thing that's really clever about it is the whole like, this is what you could win.
Yeah,
That's clever.
yeah. There are two more, and we're going to go to 1992 and The Man from Hope,
Amazing.
which has been called the most successful biographical introduction of a president
Okay.
for Bill Clinton.
Right. Reaffirming the American dream. Right, let's do it.
I was born in a little town called Hope, Arkansas, 3 months after my father died. I remember that old 2-story house where I lived with my grandparents. They had very limited incomes.
This is too much.
It was in 1963 that I went to Washington and met President Kennedy at the Boys Nation program. And I remember just thinking what an incredible country this was, that somebody like me, had no money or anything, would be given the opportunity to meet the president. That's when I decided that I could really do public service because I cared so much about people. I worked my way through law school with part-time jobs, anything I could find. And after I graduated, I really didn't care about making a lot of money. I just wanted to go home and see if I could make a difference. We've worked hard in education and healthcare to create jobs, and we've made real progress. Now it's exhilarating
Him working
to
at
me
his
to
desk
think that as
is so
president,
funny.
we can help to change all our people's lives for the better and bring hope back to the American dream.
Very good. Very good.
The campaign, when they found that B-roll footage of Bill
Of him with
Clinton as a
Kennedy.
teenager meeting JFK, they must have just been like, this is incredible.
We've got this in the bag.
Yeah, Bill is laying it on thick in that ad. I do feel being like, I didn't care about making a lot of money. I just
wanted to. I
wanted
grew
to
up in a
help
place
people.
called Hope, Arkansas. Incredible.
It kind of feels like the music is kind of Eagles-esque. You're just like,
Yeah, to be honest, it does feel like the opening of like Nicholas Sparks' film.
it does, yeah.
Then we would pull away from that and it would be someone reading their grandfather's diaries
Yes.
and being like, and this was him and we never met. Gosh.
And someone
Now
has
I've inherited
dementia.
his house in the middle of this small town. I guess this is my way of becoming closer to him, etc., etc. Great.
Okay, and the final one that you're going to watch, Fee, is okay. So in 2002, Senator John McCain of Arizona and the Wisconsin Democrat Russ Feingold basically wanted to stem the corrupting influence of money on elections, and they created the Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act of 2002, which is obviously the year that this episode came out, which basically compelled candidates, this legislation did, to stand by their TV and radio ads with "I approve this message."
Right.
They basically felt that candidates would be less likely to run untruthful or negative attack ads if they had to actually endorse the message.
Which does come up in this episode because they do comment that there's no message at the end of the advert saying that's associated with the campaign.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They felt that candidates who lied or did negative attack ads would alienate voters. Of course, outside money, super PACs, the internet, which are kind of the biggest purveyors of misinformation today, were not a major factor in 2002. But there is a famous attack ad from 2002 by the George W. Bush campaign against his opponent, Senator John Kerry, which features John Kerry windsurfing in Nantucket.
Yes, and we're post 9/11 here as well, so that feels important. Okay, we're going.
I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
In which direction would John Kerry lead? Kerry voted for the Iraq War, opposed it, supported it, and now opposes it again. He bragged about voting for the $87 billion to support our troops before he voted against it. He voted for education reform and now opposes it. He claims he's against increasing Medicare premiums, but voted 5 times to do so. John Kerry, whichever way the wind blows.
Yeah, phenomenal. And you just, if you were John Kerry and you saw that advert, you'd be like, I was just windsurfing.
Yeah.
I was just on holiday.
But is that obviously famously a elitist kind of sport to do? So that also, in and of itself kind of is alienating.
And you know, what he could have been doing is working for the people rather than going on holiday.
Yes. Safe to say, we've been on a journey with campaign ads. But basically, the law of the land is you can say almost anything you want. The US Supreme Court has repeatedly affirmed that political advertising basically falls under the First Amendment freedom of speech. And so it's up to the electorate to basically decide what's truthful and what's not. There are liability laws for defamation, but the standards are like really, really hard to meet. And by the time a case would make it through court, the election would have happened.
Yeah.
So you can really say whatever you want. Voters sometimes think that ads are bound by consumer truth in advertising laws, but the Federal Trade Commission protects consumers from lies about products. It is not authorized to regulate political advertising, even when content is actively deceptive.
Interesting.
And the Federal Communications Commission basically says that broadcast networks cannot censor or refuse a political ad for a federal candidate, for like a national candidate.
Wow.
So broadcast networks can, in theory, say no to a third party, like a super PAC, for an ad, but they don't tend to because of the potential liability. And there's currently no federal laws that apply to online political advertising or messaging content. Social media companies like Facebook have no legal liability for what's posted on them because they are regarded as intermediaries of content, not publishers, which is one of the main reasons why Mark Zuckerberg refuses to call Facebook a media company. Because then he'd be liable for the content that's posted. But let's close out. For any Americans listening, I'm sure you will all remember this well. This was a famous presidential ad for Barack Obama in 2008. But Fi, having not lived in the United States, might not be familiar. It's devastating. I'm going to warn you. It was a very different time. But enjoy.
Oh God, I'm scared. Oh wow. Oh. Okay.
All the celebs are getting involved. They're all getting involved.
It was a creed written into the founding documents that declared the destiny of a nation. Yes, we can. It was whispered by slaves and abolitionists as they blazed the trail toward freedom.
She's dancing again, but she's dancing with a kind of sadder tenor.
Yes, we can.
It's more of a meaningful dance.
It was sung by immigrants as they struck out the distant shores, pioneers who pushed westward against unforgiving wilderness. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. It was the call of workers organized, women who reached for the ballots, a president who chose the moon as our new frontier, and a king who took us to the mountaintop and pointed the way to the promised land.
She's vibing.
Justice and equality.
Yes, we can.
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 Yes, we
I mean, this does go on for another 2.5 minutes. Shall I keep watching? Or?
Well, no, I mean, it kind of continues
Some
on
more
in
of
the
the
same
same.
vein, but you get the vibe.
Obsessed. It's very of its time.
It's so of its time.
Also, the fashion is phenomenal.
will.i.am and John Legend truly kind of front and center there. But I just love that Obama's speech was so good after the New Hampshire primary, even though he didn't win. Hillary Clinton won that primary. His speech was so good that they basically just set it to music.
Yeah. And just had prominent people
do vocal
sing
stylings
along. I would really recommend watching that.
Yeah.
I would really recommend that.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm going to watch again later.
Yeah. So that is campaign ads, a history.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. I now have some deep Googling to do to find more information and more videos. Thank you.
I would also say there's some real fun to be had on YouTube if you just kind of like, especially because I've focused on presidential campaign ads here, but there are some truly offensive down ballot campaign ads that have been made over time. And I'd really recommend just a little Google of like most offensive campaign ads ever made. Because some of these down ballot people really, it was out of hand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God, Leigh, we're going to be coming back for episode 20.
What the hell?
The season finale is upon us. Because whatever happens in this next episode is going to be a continuous storyline into the final.
Yeah.
Whoa. So shall we meet up next week?
Season 3 has gone by so quick.
Flown by with some absolute crackers.
Yeah. We should say our show that we did over the summer, don't worry, we're not going to take as long off this time, but we are doing our show Rotus again in January. If you're listening, it's going to be on at the Park Theatre. If you're around London, please do come along to see Rotus. It's very exciting. Also, we're Queer Gals Watch the West Wing at gmail.com. Queer Gals Watch on Patreon. And Queer Gals Watch wherever you get your socials. So please do get in touch. We love to hear from you.
Yeah. I'll be back next week, Leigh, with... should we have a little Christmas party next week?
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay. Christmas will be over by the time they listen to it.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll just be drunk in January, which I think, as someone with a January birthday, dry January is
not
frustrating
great for you. Yeah.
Okay,
Leigh, I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.